Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my crazy life. It's Lori. And today I have for you my small, and I went to Kroger grocery haul for the week. I spent $37.40 under budget. This is what I picked up. Got some things I don't normally get, which is why I try to go to Kroger about once a month or every 2 weeks. Usually it's once a month. All right, let's move this and then I'll show you and go over the pricing. First things first, I got a Lily's chocolate bar. This is keto friendly. It's no sugar added. I get the dark chocolate. Anything else besides the dark chocolate, you're going to add carbs for all the other ingredients. Now, I think the sea salt one should be okay because it's just salt, but I'm not sure what's in it. I just get the Lily's dark chocolate and I bake with this. I eat it. It's $4. Not going to lie, but it's a good sweet treat. And I'll keep this for a while. I eat just a couple squares at a time. So I got that. 89 cents each, 3 cat foods, which is really 6 days worth, because I just give them a half a can each. So they're each getting about a tablespoon of wet food, which is fine. They drink plenty of water. I grabbed the Gatorade Zero. I am loving this Gatorade Zero. This is the Glacier Cherry. And then I got some of these Kool-Aid on the goes. These were $1 a piece. I got 2 fruit punch, 2 grape. I love them. If you watch my hauls, you know I'm obsessed. Summer's coming. That's what I drink. Not clean, just so you know. There is questionable sweeteners in here, and I try to only drink it with meals, but sometimes I just need something. So I grabbed that. I got asparagus. This was a little under a pound, so it was 85 cents. This is a good time to buy asparagus. Spring, this was 99 cents a pound, and it's beautiful. Asparagus. I got a head of Napa cabbage this week. I'm going to try to make some crack slaw just to have in the fridge to eat on. I'm very busy this week with work, both of my jobs, so I'm doing a lot of bulk cooking. So I think I'll make some crack slaw today. I can also portion it and freeze it. I found the sugar-free barbecue sauce. Now, again, this is not perfectly clean, but it's going to be what it's going to be this week. I'm making some barbecue meatballs, I think for breakfast, because I'm kind of over eggs and sausage right now. So I'm going to make some meatballs. Actually, I'm going to make a big old batch, freeze them, and then take some for dinner, some for breakfast. But this is sugar-free. I got the hickory, and it's 2 carbs. It's not 2 net carbs. It's 2 carbs. They probably aren't netting it because there's no fiber. But that is for 2 tablespoons. I'll put 2 tablespoons in the entire recipe. All right. So again, not perfect, not completely clean, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I got that. Heavy whipping cream. I prefer the Aldi brand, but I was there, so I grabbed it. Now, I got some really good deals today. This cream, I think, was $1.89, which is more expensive also than Aldi. So take that for what it's worth. The barbecue sauce was $3.69. The G2 was $1, or the Gatorade was $1. I got some mild banana pepper rings. Again, these are 1 carb for an ounce, so about 10 slices. So that's pretty good. I love banana pepper rings. These were $1.69. Now here's one of my fabulous deals. Do you see that price? $1.13 for all natural. It's just ground pork. Unlike the other pack I bought at Target, this has nothing in it but pork. So this is pretty much 0 carb. I'm going to put a package today in with my meatballs, and then I got 2 packages back there that are going to go in the freezer. Right now, my job or my goal or what I'm doing is stocking my outside freezer when I find good deals on meat. So I got 2 pounds of pork for the freezer, 1 pound for this week. And I think $1 for a pound of pork is a good deal. This was $1.99 a pound. It's 3 pounds. I will probably use 2 pounds for my meatballs this week that I'm making, the bulk cooking, and I'm going to put a pound with the crack slaw. So this will all get cooked up into 2 separate meals, and just all grab and go. I also am bringing out pork roast that I have in the freezer that I already cooked and shredded I'm going to have that for lunches with some baked cauliflower that I have in the freezer. So, we have some meat for the week. I have some meat from my freezer. And I may not make the crack slaw right away. We'll see. I grabbed a bag of this for the crack slaw. 89 cents for coleslaw mix. That's pretty good. Cabbage is, more expensive than that. And this is just cabbage and carrots. This is a good time saver, especially if you're busy, and it's a good deal. Definitely would recommend. This is 14 ounces. And cooking for one, this is going to be better than wasting a half a head of cabbage, which is why I bought the tiniest little cabbage of the Napa. The Napa has a little less carbs than this cabbage, than the head, those ball head of cabbage. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, cabbage. That was 89 cents. Now, why do I have 2 sharp cheddar cheeses? Well, this is to eat for lunches and whatever. This, I'm doing an experiment. This was $3.50. This was $1.99. It's in essence the same cheese, but see how this is ultra thin? I made last week, I think I showed you some Cheez-It crackers by just baking cheese. Somebody said the ultra thin makes them more crispy and Cheez-It-like, so I'm doing an experiment. I'm going to cut these into smaller little squares, and then I'm going to bake them up and see if I get a more crisp cracker texture. See how thin that is? And I usually prefer a thick cheese, but let me see how thick that is. So I'm going to bake these up today and see how that turns out. And that was everything for $37.40. This was kind of a week of, hey, I don't need a lot of stuff. Let's stock up on some things that I would like to try. And I was super excited that my store finally got this in. My Kroger, they totally redid it. They renovated the whole entire store, and now they're carrying a lot more organic foods, the Lily's chocolate. I mean, they're really going to try to compete with Whole Foods with what I've been seeing, and I don't go there that often, but I was so excited to find this. So that is all the things for the week, and I'll bring you along with what I'm bulk cooking. Getting some food prep going. Right here I have ground beef cooking. I'm going to do the crack slaw before I do... Well, I'm going to mix the meatloaf, I guess. Meatballs, which honestly you do it like meatloaf. So I've got my ground beef going here. For my twice baked cauliflower, I call it, or it's just loaded mashed potatoes, I use 2 bags of this frozen cauliflower. I boil it and then I strain it. I drain it really good with a tea towel to get the water out. Then I add sour cream cheese, butter, some ranch seasoning, and some cheese, and kind of just mix it up and make a fun mash. So I have that out, and I'm getting ready to make my Cheez-Its. And this is all prep for the week. 250 in the oven. And they go for about 30 to 35 minutes. Now, that was with the thicker cheese. I'm not 100% sure on the thinner cheese exactly how long it'll take. So I'm going to put it on for 20 minutes. Set my timer. And while that's happening, I'll mix up my meatballs. And then what I do is I'll bake the meatballs on these trays and freeze them. When they come out, I'll freeze them individually in my chest freezer and then bag them up. If you throw them all on top of each other when they just come out of the oven, even if you let them cool, they'll stick together. You want to freeze them separated so that you'll have a bag of loose meatballs. And those I can just grab and throw in a baggie and take to work, take to lunch, take for breakfast, take for whatever. So I have that. I've got my barbecue sauce because I'm making some barbecue. It's been so long. I have not been able to find this stuff in 2 years on keto everywhere I look. So I'm super excited to try that today. I'm going to put my pepper rings away, although I'll probably pack some for lunch. Then I'll cook up my asparagus. And my slaw is all going to go in here. And then for dinner this week, I'll eat the Napa cabbage sauteed with maybe some shrimp. Maybe do a little shrimp scampi with sauteed cabbage. I don't know. I'll prep it though. So that's kind of the week in a picture. Let me cook up. This meat needs to cook, and then I need to get some seasonings in here for it, and I'm bringing that to a boil. Oh, and the cheese. Let's see if I can move you back. My counters are so small, guys. Here's the container that I'm going to mix up. So for the cheese, what I do, open it. I'm going to cook this whole package of this ultra thin. Yes, it was $3.50, and going back here. I already added some garlic, some dehydrated onion. That absorbs a little juice when you're cooking, you know, things like this. And soy sauce, onion, salt, no salt, pepper. Now I'm going to add the flavoring, which is sesame oil. Oh, and I also added 2 packets of Splenda or stevia. Egg rolls typically have a little sweetness to them. Generally it's from like hoisin sauce, but we are not going to add hoisin. So I just add a little Splenda, or it's stevia erythritol. And then I'm adding in some sesame oil for flavor. And then we're going to let this kind of cook down just a little bit longer, and then it's done. I mean, this is so easy, and it doesn't have to be Asian inspired. You could totally add, make it Italian. Make it whatever you want. The base is ground beef and cabbage. Super easy. Now we're going to do the meatloaf. I have a pound of pork and 2 pounds of beef. I'm going to put some fresh garlic in it. I like fresh on the garlic side. And then I'm going to put barbecue sauce. Like 2 tablespoons for the whole thing. So 1 serving for this whole amount of meat. 2 eggs. 2 eggs. I think 2 should be enough. Now, because I'm not adding breadcrumbs, I'm going to add some cheddar cheese to it. And that's going to help it bind. There's other things that can be added, but I'm just going to do some cheddar cheese and salt and pepper. Ooh, and a shell, apparently. Just rinse this real quick. No shells in the disposal. It says you can, but I've clogged mine now twice, so we're going to not do that. Salt and pepper. And then as soon as my crackers are done, I'll scoop it onto pans and bake them. I have a cookie scoop, and the cookie scoop does the right size meatball for me. Oh. Okay, well that is twice now. Okay, well, we'll leave that alone. It does dissolve. This grinder I got at the Dollar Tree does not work so great. I think I have I have a piece of salt stuck in it. Let's see if that works better. There we go. And then we're going to put just a handful or so of cheese. Cheddar, pre-shredded. And then the cauliflower will be coming out shortly. But first I need to do this. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So when you're batch cooking, you really just want to kind of keep everything moving in the right direction. Check my crackers. They're not quite done yet. Batch 1. Batch 2 is right here to go in. All right. I'm putting my hands in here. Salt, pepper, onion, garlic. Oh, I want some seasoning. Ranch is for the potato or the cauliflower. And we're going to throw a little zesty Italian in with the meatballs just to give it a little extra flavor. There'll be enough moisture in here to rehydrate all of that green. All right, hands are going in. Yes, I can use a spoon, but I really feel like with meatloaf, you really need your hands to kind of mush it all together and get everything kind of evenly dispersed so it cooks evenly and it's flavored evenly. So I kind of, sorry if this grosses you out, but I get my hands in there. I really want like the pork and the beef to blend together. Now you can add pork rinds to this if you want more of that breaded consistency. I think you can add almond flour, but that doesn't really do much. You can add oat fiber, but I'm not today. I'm just gonna mix up my meatballs and call it. And I think we have a good mixture going on in here. And everybody, that's the timer for the crackers, but I just checked them. I know they're not quite done yet. There, that's done. It's all mixed up and ready. This is going to make a large batch of meatballs for me for the freezer and for this week. All right, egg roll in a bowl is done. I'm letting it cool and then I'll package it up. This is my cauliflower. I just kind of squeeze out the extra liquid so you don't have soggy, runny potatoes. You can also put it in the oven. All right, we're going to try the same thing again. There we go. I must have had a piece of salt cut. Now, I'm going to use some of my ranch. I always shake this stuff because it settles. How much ranch? I don't know. A handful? It's a couple tablespoons. Salt, pepper. I put some cream cheese, just a chunk of cream cheese. I put some butter. And I'm going to put a little bit of this just to make it taste like a twice bake. I don't have any bacon today, and that's okay. All right, close your ears. Good. I'll load the dishwasher here in a second. Put my mixer away. And then this is, you know, it's a little soft compared to a whipped potato. If you like your whipped potatoes a little more thick. But it's, I mean, it holds onto a spoon. Yeah. That is really good. I'm going to let it cool. There we go. And that's my cheese crackers. They just came out of the oven, one batch. Yep, I'm going to let those cool, put them in a container. I'm going to let this kind of just sit here and let all these spices come to life in here. And then these are going to get packaged up into lunch containers as well. I'm going to have basically a refrigerator full of Tupperware for this week, and I'm totally okay with that. Yeah, because that's what I need to have happen on the week that I'm working a lot. Let me see if I can get one of these up off of here. They have to cool. You hear that? That's delicious. Yeah, I'm liking the thin better. A little more expensive, but tastes more like a Cheez-It. All right. I think that's all the cooking I'm doing. Other than I'm going to cook the meatballs, so I'll bring you back for that. And here we go. We have back here, that is my crack slaw, 3 servings of that. This is lunches for the week, which is leftover pulled pork that I had made a big one and split it in half, and some mashed potato, well, mashed cauliflower, I should say. I made some Cheez-It type baked crackers. I have some asparagus. I have meatballs. And left more pork. So this will feed me for the week of on the go. So I hope this is helpful, everybody. You have a good one. Bye.